people who appear calm, not because their lives are easy, but because they've carried too many burdens alone. And Cha Eun Woo is one of those people. On screen, he's always neat. Always smiling. Always looking fine. But today, I don't want to talk about Cha Eun Woo as a perfect idol. I want to invite you to see what the camera doesn't see. The longer you follow Cha Eun Woo, you'll notice one thing. He hasn't changed much. But the look in his eyes isn't the same as before. Calmer. Deeper. And somehow, loner. Not because he's lost his passion, but because his life demands that he mature ahead of his time. From the beginning of his career, Cha Eun Woo was given a major role even before he was ready to accept it. Being the perfect one. It's not just about his looks. It's also about his attitude, speech, behavior, and life choices. The slightest sign of fatigue would cause people to ask questions. The slightest silence would cause people to speculate. At some point, Cha Eun Woo began to realize something painful. The more people know me, the fewer people truly understand me. He couldn't just talk. He couldn't complain like a normal person. Because whatever came out of his mouth became public knowledge. So he chose the safest course, keeping it all to himself. Not because he was infinitely strong, but because he didn't want to disappoint anyone. And that's where the change happened. He still smiled. But no longer carelessly. He remained friendly, but kept his distance. Not because he'd become cold, but because he'd learned how to survive in a world that demanded perfection. Many people think that Cha Eun Woo doesn't talk much because his life is too comfortable. In fact, it's the opposite. His silence is his way of protecting himself. In the entertainment industry, honesty is often a double-edged sword. Too honest, and he's misunderstood. Too open, and he's attacked. Too human, and he's seen as weak. Cha Eun Woo chooses the quiet path, working harder, speaking only what's necessary, and letting the results answer everything. He doesn't seek sympathy. He doesn't ask for understanding. He simply wants to live his life without having to explain everything to the world. And perhaps, that's why many people find him comforting. Because in a noisy world, Cha Eun Woo presents himself as a calm figure. He's not without wounds, but he knows when to be silent, and when to move on. There's one thing that many people often don't realize. Cha Eun Woo's silence isn't because he's at a loss for words. It's because he's learned to choose what needs to be said, and what to keep to himself. Over time, Cha Eun Woo began to understand that not everyone truly wants to understand. Some just want to judge. And from there, he learned that keeping his distance doesn't mean distancing himself, but protecting himself. He remained polite. He remained humble. He remained present for his fans. But he no longer opened his entire life to everyone's judgment. To some, it seems cold. In fact, it's a sign of maturity. In the entertainment world, many people choose to speak out to stay relevant. But Cha Eun Woo chose the opposite. He let his work do the talking. Through increasingly mature roles. Through expressions that were no longer exaggerated. Through a consistent, sensational attitude. And without realizing it, that's what made many people respect him even more. Because in a world full of noise, calmness is a rare thing. Cha Eun Woo knows that if he wants to last, he can't keep pleasing everyone. He has to take care of himself. Guard his thoughts. Keeping his emotions in check. Maintaining the boundary between public and private. And perhaps, that's why he seems calmer now. Not because his life is easier, but because he knows himself better. Cha Eun Woo's silence today isn't a sign of a loss of spirit. Quite the opposite. It's the sign of someone who has been tested too many times, and has finally learned, not everything needs to be explained, and not all feelings need to be announced. Just live it. Just prove it. And the rest, let time tell. Now, when you see Cha Eun Woo smile, remember one thing. That smile isn't a sign that his life is easy. It's a sign that he's chosen to persevere without worrying the world. He's not trying to be the one who suffers the most. He's not trying to appear the happiest either. He's simply trying to be himself amidst overwhelming expectations. And perhaps that's what makes Cha Eun Woo continue to be respected, not just admired. If this video made you see Cha Eun Woo in a different light, don't forget to like it. And if you want to continue hearing stories behind the lives of idols, subscribe to this channel, because there are still many stories that are rarely talked about. Let me know in the comments, in your opinion. What did you feel most after watching this video? Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next video.